Her phone buzzed while she was in the shower. I wasn't snooping. It was just face up on the table. One notification, then another, same name over and over, a name I recognized, a name I trusted. That's when I started the timeline. Not with rage, not with words, with a list. And I didn't stop until there was nothing left of either of them. The name was saved as A, first initial of my older brother. There was no emoji next to it, no nickname, just A. But that was enough. I read 3 messages. Not more. I didn't need context. I only needed confirmation. She wrote that she missed him, that she was still sore from last night, that she locked the door so I wouldn't walk in again. I turned off the screen, left the phone exactly where it was, went into the kitchen, opened my laptop, and logged into the shared cloud backup I had quietly installed the previous month. Everything synced. Texts, location, photos. That's when I saw it. The last upload was from a parking lot 2 hours south. Timestamp matched my business trip. I reverse image searched the background, motel, off highway, not somewhere she'd stay if she had any dignity left. I took screenshots, dated everything, created a folder titled Dismantle. Then I made backups, one on a flash drive, one on a separate unlisted cloud. Next, I opened a new spreadsheet. I listed names, her employer, her parents, my parents, mutual friends, his wife. Column by column, I assigned data, delivery methods, contact paths, risk levels, and time to exposure. I didn't want her to see me angry. That's emotional, predictable. Instead, I gave her silence, and silence gave me time. The next morning, I sent him a text, casual, a bait. I asked if he was free to help move furniture that weekend. He said yes. No hesitation. That told me everything. No guilt, no suspicion. He thought he was still safe. That weekend, I installed the first camera in the house. Hallway. Motion-based, cloud-linked. She wouldn't see it. Neither would he. I logged everything. When she left, where she went, when he visited, when she lied. By the end of the week, I had the first set of video clips. He entered the house at 2:07 p.m. She arrived 10 minutes later. They left together at 3:01 p.m. Same pattern 2 days later. I never confronted her. I asked her what she wanted for dinner. I made her coffee in the morning. I did the dishes. Every routine continued unchanged, because the truth wasn't going to be fought over. It was going to be detonated. I upgraded the hallway camera to include night vision. No lights, no sound. I ordered 2 more and placed one in the garage, the other disguised as a smoke detector in the living room. Every file was time-stamped and uploaded automatically. Footage reviewed nightly. I logged her patterns, days she worked late that didn't align with her calendar. Days he parked around the corner and walked up the street instead of pulling in. I compiled it all in a second spreadsheet. Columns for time, location, entry, exit, duration. All facts, no opinions. When she asked why I'd been quiet lately, I told her I was working on a side project. She accepted it easily. I didn't need to lie, just give her room to keep hiding. I purchased a prepaid phone loaded only with one app, one that pinged whenever she left the geofence I set around our neighborhood. Every movement tracked. She made it too easy. Then I expanded the scope. I reached out to a friend from college who worked IT security. Asked hypothetical questions. He answered more than I needed. I used his guidance to mirror her phone in real time. Her messages appeared on my burner as she typed them. She planned a weekend business retreat. Sent him the hotel confirmation. Sent a photo of herself in a dress I hadn't seen before. She wrote, "Book the suite. Can't wait to have you again." I took that message, printed it, folded it, filed it. I didn't reply, I didn't react. Instead, I called the hotel, impersonated her assistant, and requested the reservation be upgraded to include champagne on arrival. I added her favorite dessert, charged to her card. I wanted them comfortable, I wanted them to feel safe, because I wasn't going to stop them. I was going to record everything and let the world do the rest. The hotel was 2 hours away. Mid-tier, discreet, popular for corporate getaways. I knew she'd picked it for privacy, not comfort. I left ahead of them. Booked my own room, same floor, 4 doors down. Used a different name, paid in cash, no ID required. It was easy. People don't question confidence. The hallway camera was clipped to my belt, disguised as a key fob. When they arrived, I filmed the entrance from the stairwell. She wore the same dress from the mirror selfie she sent him. He didn't carry a bag. He wasn't there for the night. He was there for an hour. They didn't notice the door 2 down opened briefly when they entered. I waited 40 minutes, then I walked to their room. Not to knock, just to listen. The hallway vent carried sound if you stood in the right place. I captured audio on a parabolic mic tucked under my jacket. Everything was logged. Time, date, room number, hotel logo. All verifiable. I left before they did. Drove back. No rush. By the time she walked in that night and claimed her train had been delayed, I was editing. I didn't alter the footage, just cut for clarity. Kept the timeline intact. The hallway approach, the door opening, her hand on his back, the soft laughter before the door closed, audio of her voice, proof of his. I saved the files to a clean drive labeled Witness Package A. Then I duplicated it. One drive to her employer, one to his wife. The next morning I mailed them both. No return address, no explanation. Just USB drives with a small label, "You should know." The fallout would come quickly, and I wouldn't be there to answer for any of it. His wife opened the package the following Tuesday. I confirmed through a change in her social media status. Her bio shifted from wife and mother to mother. That same day, she deleted every photo of him, blocked him publicly. No statements, just removal, clean, permanent. The company where my wife worked issued an internal memo on Friday. Policy reminder on employee conduct, the kind that only shows up when someone forces the issue. Her LinkedIn went private. The proud team lead title disappeared. I checked the server logs. Her messages to him stopped. Cold. No warning. Just silence. He tried to reach her again. 5 messages. No replies. 1 call. Sent to voicemail. The following week, my brother texted me. He said we needed to talk. Family shouldn't break over misunderstandings. I didn't respond. I left the house early and returned late. Didn't change my tone. Didn't change my behavior. Just removed time and attention. I let absence do the speaking. She started to notice. She asked if I was angry. I said no. Just tired. She offered to cook dinner. I declined. She asked if I still loved her. I didn't answer. She began sleeping in the guest room again. No confrontation, no tears, just slow, visible erosion. I changed the locks 2 weeks later while she was at work, placed her essentials in a box, left it on the porch, texted her one sentence, "Do not come back." Then I filed for divorce under abandonment. She didn't contest. There was nothing left for her to say. The silence became structural. Every morning she passed the box I left untouched in the hall. Her belongings were already reduced. No arguments, no denial. She left the house without speaking, came back the same. Her toothbrush disappeared by the end of the week. Her clothes followed, bit by bit. She didn't ask for help. She didn't ask to stay. She sent one message after the lock change. Just, "Is this really how it ends?" I didn't reply. I archived it. I met with the attorney twice. The documents were filed cleanly. No joint accounts. No shared property beyond the house, which I had bought before the marriage. She left her claim blank. 3 weeks later, she signed everything. No court appearance needed. The envelope arrived, postmarked with a forwarding address I didn't recognize. Different city. Far enough. That same week, my brother showed up unannounced. He knocked once. I didn't answer. He knocked again. Then called my name. I watched him from the upstairs window. He looked smaller, shoulders hunched, posture unsure. He waited 12 minutes. Then he left. I added his name to the list of numbers blocked on every device. Removed him from family groups. Didn't explain it to anyone. When my mother asked why we weren't speaking, I told her to ask him. She never brought it up again. The revenge was complete. Not loud, not violent, just structural. They still breathed, but the systems that kept them relevant were gone, and I never raised my voice. 3 months passed. I updated every legal document, removed her name from everything, emergency contact forms, insurance policies, digital subscriptions, banking alerts. Clean slate. No trace. The house was quiet. Lived in, but minimal. I kept only what was necessary. Everything else was boxed and donated. Blank walls, order, clean surfaces, nothing that held memories. My mornings started earlier. New gym, new route to work, new schedule. She wouldn't recognize my life now, not because it changed dramatically, but because it no longer involved her at any level. There were no leaks. No one tried to bridge the gap. My parents said little. His wife said nothing. No one asked for explanations anymore. I got a call from an unknown number. Didn't answer. Later checked voicemail. It was him. He said he didn't know what I had sent to his wife, claimed it destroyed everything, asked if it was worth it. I deleted the message. He hadn't lost what I lost. He never had it. He borrowed it, used it, broke it. And now he missed the access, not the people. She sent one more message a few days later. I deserve to be heard. I read it, didn't reply, archived it, blocked the new number. Justice didn't need to hear her side. The truth had already spoken for itself, and it spoke louder when I said nothing. I wasn't rebuilding, I was replacing. Routines replaced the life I dismantled. Everything was modular, impersonal, efficient. Same breakfast, same walk, same hours. The more I controlled, the less room there was for anything unpredictable. I deleted the last cloud folder tied to her name. One click. No backups, no archives, nothing to revisit. His name never came up again. Not in messages, not in family threads. No birthday texts, no invitations. Just absence, the same kind he had helped create. He had disappeared from public view, deleted his accounts, changed jobs, maybe states. But the internet forgets slowly. Screenshots lived longer than apologies. She moved again, forwarded email bounced, address dead. I marked her trail as inactive. There was no satisfaction in the updates, no pleasure, just process. I automated more of my finances, set reminders for insurance renewals, ran everything through two-step verification and physical mail, tangible, provable, safe. I burned the last photo album, not out of anger, out of redundancy. What they broke wasn't just a marriage or a friendship, it was the assumption of safety. So I made my life a system, a machine that didn't require trust, and it worked better that way. People noticed the difference, not the absence of her or him, but the way I didn't speak about the past anymore. Old friends asked where I'd been. I told them I'd been focused. That was true. Focus replaces grief when you give it structure. One tried to set me up with someone. I declined, not rudely, just flat, not interested. They understood, or at least they didn't ask again. I started keeping a daily ledger, not money, time, minutes spent working, walking, resting, learning. It wasn't obsessive, it was measured. Control was no longer reaction, it was baseline. Sometimes I passed familiar places, the diner we used to visit, the street his old office was on. Nothing pulled, no memories triggered, because those places belonged to a dead system. They hadn't just lost me, they'd lost their version of the world, one where their lies stayed private and their actions had no echo. Now everything they did carried a timestamp and an outcome, nothing erased, only remembered differently. This was peace, not emotional calm, not forgiveness. Peace as the total absence of threat, and I had paid for it in full. A year passed, I changed jobs again, not because I had to, just to stay fluid. Nothing permanent, no one around long enough to ask personal questions. One night I received an email from a burner address. No name, just a link. It was a thread on a private forum. Anonymous users discussing workplace blacklists. In the comments, someone posted a warning about hiring a woman from a former firm, implied misconduct, poor judgment, multiple HR flags, no direct names. But it described her job, her city, her exact timeline. I didn't post it. I didn't need to. Once truth is out, it moves on its own. She existed in whispers, now. The kind of story told in office kitchens when someone's applying for a second chance. I didn't read the whole thread, just saved the first page. Archived it. One more line in the ledger. My brother resurfaced online briefly, a new account under a slightly different name. He tried posting travel photos. No engagement. Comments off. Then he deleted it. His wife never remarried. She went back to school, different name, different life. She never reached out to me. She didn't need to. We understood something now that most people never will. Revenge isn't rage, it's restraint. It's giving someone enough rope to hang every version of themselves they thought they could hide. The final trace was a name on an old contact list. I deleted it. Not because it still mattered, but because I had outgrown even the need for evidence. The story had played out, the roles collapsed, the credits rolled in silence. No follow-ups, no one returned for sequels. The house was sold. I kept the proceeds clean, moved to a smaller place, one with no history, blank walls, blank keycards, blank routine, efficiency refined. I stopped tracking her, stopped checking for him. There was no threat anymore, just shadows where they used to cast influence. I burned the last journal page, the original spreadsheet, even the username I used to store everything. There was nothing left to store. People say healing comes with time. That's inaccurate. Real healing is when you no longer assign emotional weight to facts, when the betrayal is just a line item. No nostalgia, no regret, just it happened and I dismantled it. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and let's hear what you'd have done in this situation. Until next time, take care.